Welcome to STF Radio. I have with me Eric Handa from AP Telecom, and we're going to be talking about the State of Subsea conference, which is coming up on April 1st in Washington, D.C. Hello, Eric. How are you doing?
Hi, Kevin. Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So, Eric, why don't you, before we get started talking about the conference, just tell me a little bit about yourself and AP Telecom and what you do there.
Sure. I'm co-founder of AP Telecom. AP Telecom is a facilities-based telecommunications company specializing in submarine cable connectivity, in particular pre-sales and post-sales. The company was founded in 2010. I've been fortunate to work in the submarine cable industry for the last 17 years, and it's a pleasure being here today, Kevin.
Thanks, Eric. So, tell me about the State of Subsea conference. What is it?
The State of Subsea is at a transformational time in the submarine cable industry in the space. And about a year and a half ago, we felt that there was a need to come together and exchange ideas and insights and work together towards cultivating a culture of innovation and collaboration across the entire submarine cable sector and the fiber sector. The main objective and goal of the AP Telecom State of Subsea event series is to really establish a forum for all industry players and to improve the communication within the submarine cable industry that enables new models, new types of ideas as a younger generation moves into the space.
You had one last year in New York, is that right?
That's right, Kevin. We had a State of Subsea event. The inaugural kickoff State of Subsea SOS event was in New York City on October 1st of 2013.
Okay. And how did that go? Was it well attended? Did you look at it as a success?
We did. We did look at it as a success. The event was well attended, to answer your question, and our attendance is very unique versus what you would get with a traditional conference. Traditional conference, you would have folks that would register, would pay, and show up for a day or two somewhere in the world and have to incur the travel fees to get there, as well as the registration costs and out-of-pocket time from the office, the opportunity cost, so to speak. The advantage of the State of Subsea event is that we have three different mechanisms for viewers to attend. The first is if you're located, for example, the last event was in New York City, or the upcoming one on the 1st of April in Washington, D.C. If you're local to those areas, you can drive in, take the train, however you normally get there, and you can attend. There's absolutely no charge. It's free of charge to attend. But if you're not in that particular city in question, what the State of Subsea does through a relationship with the Subtel Forum Group is that they are able to, with Subtel's technology and platform, do a live video stream of the event. So if you're sitting in Hong Kong or you're sitting in Los Angeles that particular evening or that morning, and you're not able to make it to Washington, D.C. or the past one in New York, you're just able to dial in and view live streaming like you would a baseball game or basketball game. And it's the same sort of feel and touch, just like you're at the event, but you're in the comforts of your office. You don't have to travel and incur additional expenses. One of the main drivers that we thought was propelling a need for a relook at how we communicate and exchange ideas from a collaborative approach within the industry is the ability to use technology. We're driving and implementing infrastructure, and a lot of the live streaming, if not all of it, is going on submarine cables. With Subtel Forum, we're able to do a live stream of the event, as I mentioned, for the folks that can't attend in person. But imagine you're not able to dial in at that particular point in time because you have a conflicting meeting. So the third option and the third mechanism that enables viewing is what's called the recording or the archive version, which our partnership with Subtel Forum enables you to go online to YouTube, pull up the time and the date that you want with your own schedule, your own taste and preference, and watch the SOS, the State of Subsea event on your time schedule and your timeline. So it enables you to really have full control of your schedule, whether you're able to attend in person whether you're able to attend the virtual live streaming, or if you're busy during that time where the time zones don't permit, you can watch the archive event at your leisure.
Very good. Yeah, so what you're basically saying is that there's no excuse not to at least view what's going on with State of Subsea.
That's right, Kevin. The cost is the right price. It's no cost. It's free. The topic and the substantial discussions are not infomercials. They're not commercials. They're not being dominated by one party, an upgrade show, or what have you. It's really material issues facing the submarine cable space and the challenges. I think we need to spend time as an industry talking about the challenges as well as the good, but focusing on what is going to enable the next generation of cables to get deployed over the next 2, 3, 5 years and beyond.
Right. So who's going to be represented at State of Subsea in Washington?
Well, we're very fortunate that our relationship with PTC, with the Pacific Telecommunications Council, they came on as well as Subtel Forum that I've mentioned a couple times here on this radio interview. PTC, Pacific Telecommunications Council, and Telecom Review, they're our other sponsor, our partner for the event. PTC has really helped us to propel and provide the second State of Subsea event to a different and next phase, the next level. We're really shifting into third and fourth gear. We've been able to increase our attendance by almost double of the number of in-person participants. We're confirmed at just over 50 people, whereas our New York event was hovering around 25, 30. So we've been very happy and fortunate to have the relationship with all the partners, in particular PTC that I mentioned, to drive that. They've been helping with their social media, with their email blasts, as well as their membership base, to have a different touch point throughout the course of the year. As we all know, PTC takes place in January in Honolulu, and it's great, but it's also nice for members to get a touch point at mid-year or in the springtime of the respective year after the PTC event took place in January. So to answer your question specifically, not to get off track, to answer your question, who's going to be attending? We, as I mentioned, have on the sponsorship side, the sponsors that are there. We also have Equinix, we have Allied Fiber, we have panelists coming all the way from Australia with the Next Gen group of companies with ASC. We also have TE Subcom. We have Telegeography. We've been very fortunate to have the ambassador of Cambodia. His nation is building a cable, a new system called MCT, connecting Cambodia to Southeast Asia, to the America-Asia Gateway, AAG as commonly known. And we have many other speakers and companies that are coming. So we feel the profile of the event has been raised, as well as the content, the type of speakers, and the C-level folks that many folks come to expect and want at these conferences. And we do plan on delivering on those expectations.
Very good. Now, am I right in saying the Ambassador Cambodia is going to be delivering the opening address?
Yes, that is correct, Kevin. I had the pleasure of meeting the ambassador last week in Washington, D.C. on Thursday. He's a very distinguished speaker as well as a senior statesman and diplomat representing Cambodia as ambassador, as well as ambassador to Mexico on behalf of his government. He will be speaking about the benefits of submarine cable connectivity and the increase in the GDP, the national output for respective countries, such as the size and scope of Cambodia.
Very good. So where do you see State of Subsea going forward from here?
Well, we see the event continuing to draw on its pillars of low-cost, effectively zero-cost to participants, strong content in terms of issues that the industry is facing, challenges with equity financing, new programs such as software-defined networks, SDN technology, spectrum availability, changing in the regulatory environment, topics that seem to not get mainstream attention, but as we all know that work in the space on a day-to-day basis are becoming a changing environment, and those topics need to be discussed. I certainly don't want to steal anyone's ideas or concepts, but I'd like the industry to think of State of Subsea as the C-SPAN For those folks that are in the United States, they may know C-SPAN. It tends to be a bit on the dry side. There's not a lot of marketing and sizzle, but the content is very informative. It's almost like public broadcasting, so to speak, for those viewers around the world that are listening to this radio podcast.
Very good. Although I have to say that some of the marketing for State of Subsea has looked great, especially the ads that have run in Subtel Forum. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not sure who worked on those.
Subtel Forum has done a great job really driving and putting the word out there. And the game changer is the technology with the live streaming and the archive broadcast. We believe that if you look at the metrics based on the first event of State of Subsea in New York City, October 1, 2013, that happened last year, we were able to have, as I mentioned, about 30 live participants in the audience in New York City at the Wyndham Hotel. We also had over 106 folks dial in at the peak of the broadcast, and we've had just under 500 archive views, recorded views, and those are unique views around the world. So the event continues to educate, inform, and update the submarine cable community well after the date of the actual event, with the technology driving that platform and audience members and viewers being able to listen at any time at no cost when convenient for them.
Very good. So, Eric, will you tell us the website address for State of Subsea?
Absolutely, Kevin. It's www.stateofsubsea, all one word, .com.
Very good. And the this event is on April 1st. Where is it physically at?
The event is April 1st at 8:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The event is being held at a National Heritage Site here in the United States in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. The venue is the Cochrane Art Gallery. The Cochrane Art Gallery is a beautiful location with many watercolors, acrylics, and oil paintings. And we have arranged a tour after the event for all the guests that are attending in person. And from my understanding, Subtel Forum has been kind enough to take some cameo shots of them all within Washington, D.C., and I believe some location shots of the Cochrane that viewers from around the world that dial into the live streaming or the archive version, the recorded version after, will be able to view.
It's a wonderful museum. I've been there, and everyone's definitely going to want to take the time to walk around and look at it. Well, I guess that's about all. I thank you, Eric, for spending some time with me today, and I hope everyone will come out to State of Subsea, or at least come and watch the live stream or watch the videos and see what it's all about. So thank you for your time, Eric.
Thank you, Kevin, so much. Have a great day.
You too.